What's up, guys? Welcome to Forge Master Metal Reviews, the place where you can get the most out of your metal.
Today is April 14th, so we are going to cover the first half of April with the albums that we have been spinning quite a bit. Be sure to leave your favorites down in the comments below. My list here today is pretty chill. Do you mind if I kick it off?
Go for it.
All right, let's do it. Joe Satriani, The Elephant of Mars. Don't know what it is about this year, but I've really been digging the prog scene. If you spotted our anticipated albums of April, you'll know that Joe Satriani was on my list, so it shouldn't be much of a surprise that here he is again. It's hard not to draw comparisons to Steve Vai or Michael Romeo. Some of the best shredders alive right now are putting out what seems to be music around the same time frame, which is fucking awesome. Satriani stands out in this crowd, man. I really wish that the album was trimmed down a little bit to showcase the more atmospheric tracks, then maybe end on a banger like Through a Mother's Day Darkly. That really would have sent the album over the edge for me. Some of the production doesn't really do it for me either. The drums, even the rhythm guitars at times sound very digitized and fake. That is probably the biggest letdown of the record, and based on the producer's resume, there's not a whole lot I can say, but just go for another producer next time, Joe. Don't let the production keep you from this record. I'm being hard on this one because it's fucking Joe Satriani, dude. He can take it. He's at the top of the game. It's another solid, masterful piece in the guitar prog wizard category. 4.7 out of 5 herds of pink elephants.
My first pick is Satan. Earth Infernal released April 1st on Metal Blade Records. No, this was not an April Fool's Day joke. You know, it's funny. It seems like someone's put something in the water of the members of Satan, because for an older band, man, these dudes have been putting out some killer metal albums over the last few years. I can't believe it's been 4 years since they released Cruel Magic, which was awesome, by the way. But holy hell, these dudes sound better than ever in their nearly 40-year career. What's great about Earth Infernal is it sounds like the band has adapted their old school sound with newer production techniques. Sure, this was deliberate as a means to sound like 80s traditional metal, but there's a lot going on here, man. This band blows so many other bands out of the water that are doing the old school wannabe thing with catchy riffing, killer guitar harmonies, extremely catchy and evil vocal melodies too. Who knows, maybe they sold their souls for another round in the metal world here. This band sounds younger than ever, despite most of them being in their close to 60s and 70s. I can't believe I'm saying this, though. Earth Infernal is better than Cruel Magic, and I loved that record back in 2018. Easily one of the best metal albums of the year so far in their traditional category. We're going to give this 4.5 out of 5, Barren Wasteland.
Love this pick, dude. This is one of my favorites in the trad category as well. Cannot get enough of the riffs on this record.
These are the ways when you come from America.
Red hot comment section after this one.
Yeah, right. Trigger warning for all the non-metal gatekeepers out here. Seriously, though, the Chili Peppers are one of those bands that I love to hear on the radio growing up. And when I started getting into their albums, I was really blown away by the quality of their deeper cuts. There's some seriously amazing songs in the Chili Peppers basement where the Chili Peppers grow. Like The Elephant of Mars, I found this record to be a bit on the long side. There's definitely a few tracks that didn't quite fit the above average song quality that the band is capable of, but I still don't mind when the record as a whole is played in the background. This album reunited some big names here, namely guitarist John Frusciante and producer Rick Rubin. You can tell the band is eager to embrace these long-lost bandmates, and they really shine when they're all clicking. Lots of cool Pink Floyd vibes, too, on this record, which was a bit unexpected. It seems like there's a few bands out there that are really pulling out a lot of the Roger Waters and Dave Gilmour influences in the guitar and atmosphere sections. No complaints from this troupe. Overall, an awesome funk and alt-rock album to put on your playlist. 4.2 out of 5, Fleas.
My next pick here is Destruction. Diabolical released April 8th on Napalm Records. One of the more underrated and underappreciated in the German old school thrash metal category. Destruction are back with a hefty dose of killer riffs and straight up metal attitude. It's cool to see these German thrash metal veterans still kicking, and their other buddies Creator have another album out in June, so pay attention to that one. To be honest though, I haven't really enjoyed that many of Destruction's newer releases. 2019's Born to Perish had some pretty killer riffs at times, but felt a bit bloated. One cool thing to note here, though, now that the band was down to the last remaining original member here, the bassist Marcel Schirmer, or Schmier for short, the band roped in some new blood to write the tunes on Diabolical. I said this before in my Satan review, it's great to hear another band in their nearly 40-year career, especially vocalist Schmier, sounding so freaking young here. The core of Destruction's sound is intact with killer riffing, wild solos, honestly a lot more of that than I expected, and they're great. And those angsty, nasally vocals that we all know and love in the Destruction camp. I can safely say now that I finally enjoyed a new Destruction album. Did it reinvent the wheel? No. But man, there's some killer fucking riffs on this Diabolical package. 4 out of 5 Contamination Zone zombies.
Alas, Isle of Wisdom. I'm not even sorry that 0 of my picks today are metal, because if you're mad, you should just leave some hate in the comments. It'll actually help the algorithm. Thank you. Listening to Isle of Wisdom is a multi-layered journey. The band very fittingly describes himself as adventure rock. Yeah, pretty much. Not only are there songs about traveling to distant foreign lands and seeking ancient wisdom, the album production itself is a journey to another time period. If you told me that this was recorded in Abbey Road in the mid-70s during the thriving prog scene, I'd believe you. There's like weird influences from like Genesis on here and all kinds of funky stuff from that time period. Another common theme with today's picks, there's a bit of fat on this record. The band's motifs kind of become apparent about halfway through, so you start to see familiar melodies and patterns. At this stage in the game, I don't mind that, but as they start to work on future releases, I hope to see them kind of refine themselves. Overall, this is a solid record in the prog category. Tons of cool moments, and I just love the production. 4.6 out of 5, Cloaked Islands.
And my last pick here is Mors Principium Est, Liberate the Unborn Inhumanity, released April 8th on AFM Records. This is a criminally underrated melodic death metal band that has written easily some of the best music the genre has ever freaking heard. What I love about this album in particular is it's a collection of re-recorded favorite songs from their first 3 albums. Fans of the band, us included, thought, why would they do this? But you know what? Now that we've gotten to spin this album a shitload of times, it's freaking fantastic. What I loved about this record is everything feels so cohesive, despite the songs coming from different eras of their discography. There's killer riffing, awesome guitar playing, sure, but there's also an emphasis on romanticism and, dare I say, gothic elements in these songs that make the older songs sound even more huge. This is a fantastic record to dive into for newcomers of the band, so if you've never heard of them, please dive in now to discover some of the best goddamn melodic death metal that's ever been written. But it's also like getting your favorite VHS movie on Blu-ray and seeing it again in all of its detailed glory. One of my favorites of the month by far, maybe even of the whole year in the melodic death category, 4.6 out of 5, Monoliths of Death.
And folks, what were some of your favorite picks from April? We know there's going to be a ton more towards the end of the month, so be sure to look out for part 2. I guarantee that my picks will probably be a little grittier on this end, so make sure to leave yours down below.
As always, go with the gods, our Forge Master brethren. Make sure you pack your bags for the Isle of Wisdom. See you guys next time.